Welcome to Greater Sarasota Coaches Alliance. It is September, and in Sarasota, we call this time of year September Slow. It's the best time of year to go to a restaurant because they usually have tables available. And it's the best time of year to be part of the Greater Sarasota Coaches Alliance because we get to do fun things. And today is no exception. Today, we are going to have a presentation by one of our members, Marilyn, Gansel. And before we do that, we get to do what we love to do the most, which is introduce yourselves. 30-second intros. That means keep it tight. Tell us who you are, who you serve, and why people want to work with you. Those three things. And then we'll get a chance at the end to share what we're celebrating, what we've got coming up. So I'm going to invite in the order you guys are on my screen. If it was a bigger group today, I'd be having you raise your hands digitally so I could keep track. But I think with this many people in the room, we can do this. All right, Deb, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Deb Mazzaferro, coaching and consulting for the specialty food trade. I've been doing this a long time, my entire career. I started this coaching business in 2001 and got certified as a Gestalt trained coach in 2007. And right now I'm getting certified in positive intelligence, which is tons of fun. So if anybody has any interest in that, they give free coach grants, and they have a new
Save it to the end.
All right. Sorry. You know me, I have my little elevator speech and I usually go with it, but today I went off script. Anyway.
There we go. All right. So thank you for giving a great example of how to ignore Jackie's directions. So she took lessons from my kids. What can we say? All right. So Joan, you want to introduce yourself? Joan?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes, I'm Joan Learn, and I have been in the outplacement business for 40 years, mostly in Connecticut and New York. But about 10 years ago, I decided I wanted to specialize in people that were getting ready to retire. And so I became certified as a retirement options coach. And that's what I concentrate on now. I'm working with people that are leaving the teaching profession because they're not happy with it. I'm working with doctors. So anyway, it's helping people go through 5 arenas of their life as they start to get ready for the last chapter.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jen. All right, coming around, let's go with Chris.
Hi, everybody. Chris Hannafin, PhD, focusing on mental, physical, and life wellness. And I, as a benefit from being in the coaches group, I networked with somebody who was on about 3 months ago. And since that time, on our call, and since that time, I got licensed in Florida as a mental health counselor, and have just opened an office in the Meadows. So I'm good. I serve kids and adults all through every phase of life, and it's very soul satisfying for me.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Mona.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here today. I am Mona Baker, and I am an Actionomics wellness movement practitioner, and I work with entrepreneurs online and dance professionals in person, and as well as dance companies. Why do they want to work with me? Because I have a proprietary method, a mind and body method to help people to learn how to move pain-free by repatterning how their mind and body have this very special conversation. So I'm Mona Baker, helping dance professionals and entrepreneurs to move pain-free.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Marilyn, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Gansel, and I am a positive performance coach. And it's about mind body wellness, very similar to some other people in the group, but to discover the confidence to stand up, speak out, and take control of your life. So I have my own solo entrepreneur business, and I'm excited to be here today.
Me too. I'm excited to be here, that you are here today because you are our speaker today. So I'll be introducing you in a little more in just a few minutes. All right, Wilma.
Yes, hi everybody. I am Wilma Figueroa, and I empower, inspire, and encourage retired veterans and also retirees so they can live a life of abundance, more life of abundance, so they can live life on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. So basically, why you should work with me, because I can help you get to whatever struggles that you're struggling with life, so you can live life on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose, and be able to enjoy life and have more abundance.
Awesome. Awesome. On purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. I heard that. Thank you, Wilma. So I'm Jackie Simmons. I am the facilitator today, longtime member of the GSCA. I'm the creator of Conscious Transformational Coaching, and I certify coaches and healers in methodologies where they can guarantee results for their clients. So it helps them stand up and speak out with more clarity and certainty and get found in the marketplace. So I've got an announcement at the end because I have some things that are super, super exciting. And if you guys all swear to secrecy, I will be able to share with you something that nobody else in the world knows. So there you go. You'll all swear? Okay. All right. So we'll save some time at the end because what's coming is like, I'm blown away and I really want everybody's support for this. All right, here we go. Without further ado, everyone here knows what the GSCA is, knows what we're about. The Greater Sarasota Coaches Alliance has been around for decades. Some of us have been involved for decades. What do we like best about it? It is a place for community in an industry that is known for its isolation. So this is where you come when you want to be with the peeps who you don't have to explain what you do to, because we get it. We get the challenges, we get the ups, we get the downs, we get the breakthroughs that our clients get, and the breakups that we can feel when a client leaves or they just don't get it. So this is a safe place for everything that could possibly be on your mind, and we will have more time for those opportunities to share and chat at the end. Without further ado, I will introduce to you our speaker and guide and the hostess with the mostest. So, Marilyn Gansel, take it away, darling.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind. Hopefully you will get to see. Wait a minute. Let me just see.
And if Deb needs to give you permission.
Nope,
Aha,
wrong
it
one,
worked.
wrong one. Nope, but then we're going to stop the share because I don't have the right one. Hang on. Where is it?
We
Hang
know
on.
the ride gets more interesting from here.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody told me there were like 4 or 5 planets in retrograde right now, and that's why all the technology seems to be going wonky. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but technology has been really wonky for me lately.
Yeah, and oh wait, let me see if I can show all windows, and maybe that's it.
Usually when you go to share screen, if you just hit the one in the top left.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
It was a little, it was down before.
There you go. Haha.
Okay, so here
If
we
you want to
are.
go, if you
Thank
want to go
you.
into presentation mode, then we won't see the ones on the slot on the side. Just so you'll know.
Where do I go?
You go up to where is it?
Oh, that's
Boy.
right.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm
Just
not
keep
gonna worry.
going.
I'll learn next time. Sorry. Anyway, I just thought this would be a fun
Actually,
exercise.
Marilyn, if you go to the bottom right-hand corner, You see that
Oh.
little slide thing? It's
To the right,
first one to the left of that.
right next to the volume control.
That-
To the right, to the right.
Two more, three more. 1, 2, 3, right
Yes.
there. This
One
next
more,
one,
one
excellent.
more. There you go. Click that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Now,
Yay.
when you want
Right,
to move,
T.
when you want to move the slide, just use the, page up button or next.
Okay,
Enter
okay.
button.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate this. I wanted to share this with you because I took a coaching for story or coaching around story, and the teacher shared with us a Mandela, and I had never done this before. So I just thought it would be a fun exercise for us to do to see where you are in the present moment. And this is going to be based on intuition, which I thought was interesting. And so what you're going to discover today in this workshop is another coaching tool, if you'd like to use it, to develop a deeper level of self-awareness and self-development. And it works on both sides of the brain. And it allows your subconscious to have a voice. So we're not going to use written language. We're going to use color and metaphors and messages through symbols. And this is going to give you a chance to rely on your intuition. This is a process that can help you gain insight into any area of your life. And I did it, and I truly was amazed at what I saw that day about my own life. I hope you will too. However, before we do that, I want to go back to a coaching tool perhaps you're most familiar with, and that is the Wheel of Life. Oftentimes, people come to us and they say, I want to focus on this, I want to focus on that, and there's just so many things, but let's prioritize. Where do you want to begin? So as a coach, I sometimes give them this wheel. And as you notice, we've got things like significant other, we have personal growth, we have fun and leisure. These are all aspects of our life: home and environment, career, money, health, friends, and family. And so we take the wheel and we divide it into these groups. And if you notice at the very corner, the inner part of the circle, there's a 0. And out towards the end, there's a 10. And so what I ask people to do, and I'm sure you've done it too, is kind of rank, where do you want to be? Or where do you think you are now? Do you need help in the personal growth area? Are you a 0? Are you 1 or 2? Do you need more time to explore career? So where is that on the wheel? Is health of concern for you? So where are you? Or do you need more time for self-care, fun, and leisure? Where are you on the wheel? So I'm going to ask you right now, as a fun exercise, draw a wheel and divide it into those segments. And then think briefly about what a satisfying life might look like for you in each area. Where do you want to be with a significant other? Where do you want to be in your personal growth? Where do you want to be in fun and leisure? Where do you want to be with the home, your environment that you're living in? Where do you want to be in your career? How's money, your finances, your health, which I coach a lot around, is weight loss and lifestyle wellness, and friends and family. So imagine the center of the wheel is your 0 again, the outer edge is 10, and choose a value between 1 and 10. And 1 is, I'm very dissatisfied. And 10, I feel pretty comfortable here right now at this moment. And then draw a line and connect them. And where are you alongside each example? And you don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but just kind of think, where do I want to be? This is going to help you or help your clients with goal setting. And sometimes this is a fun exercise just to do. So how are we doing?
I'm always working under the assumption that this wheel is not supposed to be able to roll smoothly.
No. Like life, it doesn't roll smoothly. Absolutely. Anybody want to share any areas that they want to work on, or they feel like they are really fine with? Any discoveries after doing that?
I'll share.
Thank you, Wilma.
The area that I feel like that I'm really pretty comfortable at is my personal growth. And because every day I work on that, every day I'm learning different tools and techniques on how to be a better me. And the area that I feel like I probably need to maybe concentrate a little bit more on is I gave myself like a little 7 as far as my health, because I still need to make sure that I continue to eat healthy and exercise.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Personal growth, I would imagine that you're doing pretty well in that area, since you're all about purpose and empowerment. So I love that. But great, health is important too. I'm glad you noticed that. Anybody else like to share?
I'm just going to share that Wilma's definition of personal growth was great. How to be a better me.
Right.
Yeah, that was lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you. Anybody else? We're all good? I can move on then. You'll keep those to yourself. Okay, so you completed your circle. I was going to ask, were there any surprises for you? Yes or no? You can raise your hand. Any surprises?
The funny thing, Marilyn, is when you're doing this with a group of coaches,
Mhm.
we do our own inventories probably more than the average people. So
True.
it's going to be very different if you had an audience of people who were not coaches.
True. Well, I just
Deb's
thought,
got her hand up.
yeah, go
Can you
ahead,
see it?
Deb.
Of course, I've seen the wheel before. I'm surprised that spirituality isn't on here.
Yeah, that should be on there. Absolutely.
So I wonder what
And you can change those. I just created this one, but you can definitely put that
Oh,
in.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Yeah,
no.
there's- yeah.
You can actually change the wheel to anything you want, add and subtract. But some of the questions you might ask as a coach then that you probably know about are some of these that I have listed. How do you feel about your life as you look at the wheel? How much time do you spend? What would make it a score of 10 instead of a 7? And so maybe Wilma would have said, well, I'm going to be working on this particular goal to get to here for my health. And how do you make space for that? And what kind of support do you need? We all ask those questions as coaches. And what changes do you need to make first? So this wheel you are familiar with and have used, I'm sure. And then we might ask, what action do you want to work on? And let's pick 3 actions, 1 to 3 to get started, and start with something small so that they can become more aware and discover after this exercise. What's interesting is that you had this wheel and you used, this numbering system to decide, where am I? Now you're going to create a mandala, and you're going to do this with symbols. And we're going to look at how different it is with the wheel of life. A mandala is a sacred circle. And Tibetan Buddhists create very intricate sand mandalas, and then they sweep them away when they're done. But it's the intuitive positioning of symbols and the relationship to one another that does matter. And that's what we're going to be looking at next. So you are going to draw a mandala by starting out by drawing a circle on a blank sheet of paper. It's funny that both the Wheel of Life and the mandala are circles. We start with a circle because it's the symbol of eternity. Doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end. This is going to be your foundation. After you draw the circle, you're going to be placing symbols within the circle, not to create a picture, but actually you're going to create a story of your life as it's happening in the present moment. So here are 9 sacred symbols.
We're catching some background noise from something near a microphone, so everyone might want to mute if they're not talking.
Thank you. So there's 9 sacred symbols here. There's the tree, the house, the flower, the stream, the mountain, the path of life, the bird, the butterfly, and the snake. So somewhere, maybe at the bottom of your page, you might want to note that we're going to be using a tree, a house, a flower, a stream, mountain, path of life, bird, butterfly, and snake. These are going to be the symbols we're going to be using. You don't have to draw them the way they are here. You can use your imagination, your creativity, to draw them any way you want, to be as intricate or as simple as you want. This is your mandala. So we're going to be using all these symbols, and I'll tell you what you're going to be doing with them in a moment. But I just want you to have them so that you know that they're coming up. Tree, house, flower, stream, mountain, path of life, bird, butterfly, and snake. So let me know when you have them. Everybody good? Okay. Now, I want you to take those symbols and place them wherever you'd like in that circle. Position your 9 symbols anywhere you want, and draw them as intricate or as simple as you want, as colorful as you want. Try to use color. I bet you didn't think you were going to an art class today. It's not really an art class, guys.
I'm glad it's not really an art class.
No, I know, for me too, because when I did mine, I was like, oh, pitiful. Except it was really enlightening. When you do position, after you position your 9 symbols, wherever they are in the circle, within the circle, draw a horizontal line across your mandala, and then draw a vertical line so that you have 4 equal quadrants.
Is it okay if it goes through one of my symbols?
Yes.
Good to know.
Oh, yes. You just want 4 equal quadrants.
Oh, I'm missing a symbol. I got to go back and see what I missed.
Okay. Remember, you want 9.
Oh, yep, I figured it out. I missed the water. Go figure. Cool.
Okay.
Tell you what, my trick is to say, raise your hand if you need more time or if you want more time.
Oh, raise your hand if you need more time. Okay.
Everybody wants more time. There you go.
more time, and that's fine. Chris, do you have a question? Oh, just more time. That's okay. Perfect. I think a couple of people are still working, which is fine. Anybody else still working? Omar, are you finished, or I'm not trying to rush you? You good? Everybody else is good, right? Perfect. Thank you. All right. So now, here's the fourth step. We're going to study the mandala. And you're going to see which quadrants are full and ones that are empty. And if you notice that when I took my mandala and, cut it in 4s, each of them has a part of your life that indicates either intellectual or spiritual, emotional, or sensory. So the top left is the intellectual, and the top right, spiritual, bottom left, emotional, and bottom right, sensory. And if you want, you can always write that somewhere near those quadrants. The quadrants with the most symbols generally indicate where your life is most successful. And the quadrants that are empty suggest more work. As you're looking at it, does that resonate with anyone? Does that seem to be right?
I was just looking at it and I'm going, wait a minute. This is interesting. It's all perfectly balanced. I've got 2.5 intellectual, 2.5 spiritual, 2.5 emotional, and only 1.5 in sensory. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I've been looking for, how do I get to the gym? How do I get to go dancing? How do I put that kind of more, that experience in my life? So this matches what I'm up to pretty well.
Okay. Anybody else so far? Anybody else want to share?
I saw some of you shaking your heads. Oh, there you go, Wilma. Cool.
No, I was just saying mine is pretty balanced as well, because if I look at intellectual, I'm 2, spirituality, that's 2, my sensory is 2, emotional is 2, and then I have 1 in the middle. So that's kind of like splitting all 4 quadrants. So
Okay. And we're going to talk about that too, Wilma. There's more to it. But go, Chris, I think you were going to.
Thank you. I just put my sound on. Interestingly enough, I have like 3 in 3 of the quadrants. Oh, I have 3 3 in each of the quadrants because I overlap with some of the quadrants. So I've got 3 in each of them. But I omitted the snake. I forgot the snake. I just checked myself and I
Okay.
omitted the snake.
Okay, but thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? If not, we'll move on. I don't want to, make sure everybody has a chance. Whoops. Why isn't this going? It's stuck.
While you're getting unstuck, Mona has her hand up.
Oh, Mona, go ahead.
So in a sensory, I have 4 because 2 of them override. And of course, that's what work is. And they override with the spiritual. And the intellectual has 2. The emotional has 1.5. And it is a pretty, it's talking to me pretty well. Thank you. It's fun.
I'm glad to hear that, Mona. It's interesting, isn't it? It's very intuitive. Just to define them a little bit better too for you, the intellectual has to do with your thought and your critical thinking and your study. And the emotional is the world of feelings and the baggage you might carry with you, your fears, your hates, your loves. And look at, as I'm talking about this, look at the symbols that you put in each of these quadrants. And the spiritual is your relationship to the world of mystery and vision and purpose and ultimate reality. And the sensory is the relationship to your senses, the earth, the arts, your body, and the environment. So let's look at the meanings of some of these, because now you can start to look at not only where your symbols are placed, but the meaning of these symbols. The tree is a symbol of where you're rooted. And a healthy tree has plenty of roots and foliage. And the healthiest tree actually is in all 4 quadrants. Just look at where you placed your tree. Your house, wherever you place that, is your comfort zone, where you're most comfortable. And ideally, to have a balanced life, you should be in all 4 quadrants as well. I can share with you that mine wasn't. My house was in the emotional realm, and my tree was in the intellectual, the spiritual, and the emotional, but not in the sensory. Because I did this too, guys. And I just found it very, very revealing. The mountain, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go
I
ahead,
was
Jen.
just going to say, would you be willing to share this slide with us, so that we can have this information? Because that's a lot of information.
Sure. You mean by email?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, certainly. Absolutely. So the mountain is what you need to transcend, or where you are transcending to. It can be a challenge or an obstacle to overcome. So notice where it's placed. And the bird is that which is calling you. It's an invitation, inspiration. It could be your Holy Spirit. Mine happened to be in the spiritual. And the flower is where you're bearing fruit. You've had successes. You're seeing results. Where are your flowers? And the snake and water are twin symbols of transformation and renewal. And they're powerful when they occur together. And they usually indicate work that needs to be done or work that's in progress. So notice where your snake is. For me, it looked like I was discarding my old self. And I'm just sharing with you what I noticed about mine. The path is the direction in which you're going. And make sure you know where your path begins and where it ends. Which quadrant is it in? It usually starts in one quadrant and then directs you to the quadrant where work is needed. And yeah, mine was in the sensories to spiritual. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't. It was the emotional and sensory. And the butterfly is where you found new life or you feel you've been transformed. So notice where your butterfly is. Now, this is not a scientific tool, not at all. But you can see areas of fullness and emptiness. And again, as I said, it's intuitive. You can see where you're growing and where you've grown. You can assess where transformation is needed. And you know, you're the owner of you. You're the best interpreter of your mandala. You only know whether it reflects where you are today. So I do want to ask some questions, and I hope that you will share your feelings about it. The first one I wanted to ask was, how did creating this mandala make you feel?
Marilyn, are you looking
Yes.
for us to write our answers and
No.
journal this, or are you looking for us to
I was
open our
looking
mics
for
and share
a
it?
discussion. I thought open it up to discussion unless it's too private.
Cool. So people just unmute and share. Chris, I see you're unmuted. Please go for it. And I'll just watch the hands and mutes, Marilyn.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of fun, very curious in the creation process. And then, the results were very interesting too. I am happy with my results.
Oh, good, good.
Mhm.
Okay. Would you like to
Okay.
share any of that?
I'll be happy to. So can you see this? I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Can you see?
It's hard to see, but that's okay. You can describe
Just a
it.
second. Hold it. I don't have the ability. Deb, if you click on the 3 dots over Chris's picture, and Marilyn, if you stop screen share. Deb, if you click the 3 dots in the right-hand corner of Chris's image, you'll be able to spotlight her for the
Oh,
group.
wow.
And then we'll all be able to see it. There you go.
Wow, that's great.
So thank you. I'm just on my iPhone here and peeking around the corner.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so I have a lot of balance, but what I did is I put the flowers all around every edge and every quadrant,
Oh,
which is
wow.
and some of them in the middle of them, I put smiley faces in the middle of the flowers.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
nice.
yeah, so I had a nice balance and, overall, I don't have to, I don't want to
And
take all the,
your path, your path, did it start in the sensory and then go up? So it was from the house too.
it did, it went up. Yeah, so my path went up to the intellectual and my tree is kind of in the center, and the roots of it do go down a little bit.
We do.
And my house, I wanted it to look like a smiley, kind of like a smiley face. Yeah. So, and again, I forgot the snake altogether.
Yeah, where would you have put the snake, do you think?
I don't think I would have wanted it on here, but I do, I do hear you that it represents renewal. And I got, like I told you, I'm starting a new business, a practice, and I got a call from somebody that was, doing my credit card for me that, needed my, let me know that my credit card, everything was like approved on its way. And it was an important brief call for me to take. So I, missed a little time.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for sharing that. It's very colorful too.
Yeah. And I'm, happy that I don't have the snake on there because, we interpret these things for ourselves, but it was just an oversight that I left it out.
I hear you.
Yeah, but I represent, like I don't like snakes. So.
I don't either. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share?
I can't wait till we get the thing that you're going to send us with all the the information about the symbols. That's very cool. And this is a cool exercise.
I just need to get everybody's email before we leave.
No, you
Okay.
don't. We'll just give it to Deb Davis and she'll forward it to everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Yay.
Anybody else want to share, Mona?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I just pulled out these symbols. I dropped them here and there and there. I wasn't really thinking. And I'm just going with the flow. I had no idea where we're going with it. I just said, well, just go. And wow, it was very revealing. Now, I didn't have such a beautiful rendition that Chris had. She was really artistic. I just had little simple kind of things that they just plopped down, but it was fun. And it talked, as I mentioned before, it did talk back to me in a very different way than I had ever thought of. And I have really a whole new appreciation for the mandala that I didn't really quite understand before. So this has been fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you want to share what you discovered about yourself?
I'm rooted in my intellectual area, and that transformation is very much a part of, I'm always ongoing with the actionomics and such. And then I shift over to the sensory, and it is calling me always in that spirit. And I'm always climbing a mountain, and it is bearing some fruit, but also the spiritual is bearing some fruit. And in the butterfly is both in the spiritual and the sensory. And so I'm allowing them all to be transformed. And in the emotional, yes, there is a whole beautiful evolution in my emotional opening up and following a new path, trusting, and there's a transformation that goes along with it. So, and the spiritual with my, in the comfort zone of the house, that's where that one landed. So it was fun. It was really a very different way to think and rewiring.
Yeah, we see you didn't have to think. All you had
Right.
to do was draw.
I didn't have to work so hard at it. Thank you.
Oh,
It was
thank
play.
you. I'm
It
going
was
to share
revealing.
I'm going to share my screen again because let me just see if I've got this right. I wanted to ask about the colors too. What do the chosen colors that you picked say about how you were feeling as you were doing that? Anything about colors? Again, this is all intuitive, but as you look at it, did the colors speak to you?
Well, I was pretty perfunctory. I had to laid out all of these things. And so all of my symbols and my explanations of them were all in the same color. When you started talking about them and in the quadrants, the talking about them, I put the explanations in a different color. So I'm feeling kind of like Mona, compared to Chris's, which was like a piece of art. Mine is more like a scientific diagram.
It's okay. Everyone's is different, and you didn't have to change colors. It just is interesting. Like for mine, I think it was the flowers, or it was like I had bearing fruit, and it was purple, and it seemed like, and they were large, very, very large, and my new life, the bird was yellow, and it was more in the spiritual realm. And I found it interesting that I drew the snake black, but my path was orange. I just wanted it very bright because I felt I was moving forward in a different direction. So, it's up to you. This is very subjective. This is for you. This is not for me. But if you imagined there was a hidden message here, what would it be? And are you willing to share? And it's okay if you don't want to.
So I will go ahead and unmute. I'm a firm believer that if somebody offers you a microphone, take it. You'll figure out what you're going to say on the way. All right. So, and this is really fun for me because I'm looking at how my transformation and my calling are all in the emotional realm. My journey path is split in half between emotion and sensory. And the only thing that's alone, one standalone symbol in sensory, is the mountain. And I'm like, oh, interesting for me, because I'm going, maybe there's something here. I don't know what the message is yet, but there could be a message. The other symbol that was split ended up being the water, the stream. And it was split between the top two quadrants, between the intellectual and the spiritual. So it was like, wow, my successes and my comfort are all in the spiritual, and my tree and my snake are all over here in the intellectual. So it's like, I got a lot of movement going on in my world, is what it feels like. So thank you very much. This is very enlightening. Chris, I see that you are unmuted. You got something to share?
Yeah, it makes me really happy because a part of my life that is very fulfilling for me is my therapy practice, and I haven't had that face-to-face here, and it just makes me feel really good that I now have a physical office that I can see people in, and that part of my life, having moved here, I was a snowbird for 13 years, but 9 years, and then the last 3 or 4 I've been permanent resident in Sarasota, and it just makes me very happy to be bringing that part of my life here. And I'm happy, that my thing overall was pretty balanced, and I had things in every quadrant, and that my flowers go all the way around the thing, bearing fruit, seeing results. And I think you asked the question when and I had that phone call that came in that was important that I needed to take. And I think you asked the question, like, how do you feel about, rate different things in that wheel of life circle from 1 to 10. And I pretty much give it a real high score in all those categories. So I'm I'm happy that my life is balanced and in a fulfilled state at the moment.
That's wonderful. I'm happy for you too. So it seems like both of those wheels are pretty compatible.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anybody else like to share? Or anything you like most about the mandala?
I really liked it because it was unexpected, and it was, more from within. It was a really great experience to do this. And what mandalas, they've been intricate, they've been carefully done, and in a spiritual world, maybe in posters or something. So this is a really, really nice exercise experience.
Thank you. I hope you can share it with some people, because I find it fascinating. And you do it anytime as well, because it might change.
Yeah. Can you send us every single bit of your presentation?
Yeah, I can. I'll get, it's Debbie Davis, I guess I send this to. Okay.
That was awesome. It was really great. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
and I really did not expect this, because I, been in the therapy field for 30 years, and I was thinking of symbolism, and, as I was anticipating your workshop, and I'm, didn't know how you were going to go, but this is a whole different thing. This is very practical and wonderful. Thank you.
And that segued right into the takeaway. So I thank you too, Chris. Mona?
So what I liked about it is you had this circle, and then you defined it into you gave it 4 different areas, 4 different spaces. And then we had these 9 symbols to bring and put into these spaces. And the interaction between the spaces and the symbols is a really exciting thing. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to have this drawn, on a like in a space, this 8 feet by 8 feet, and then to put the symbols there and then move with the symbols in those spaces and really take on those and own them in your own person.
That would be cool.
That's
This is a movement person talking, and I
Right.
get it. And I see those symbols as like stick-ons, like, and so that you could move them. And you mentioned something too about space, because I'm looking at how some of my symbols are much larger, or there's more space in one area versus another. You could spend time really kind of analyzing, what does this mean? And in what direction am I going? Any other final takeaways? Well, I want to thank you so much for bearing with me on my first presentation to this group.
I've got a question, because
Sure.
you said this is Maori based,
Mhm.
Maori, and that's the tribe that is behind the movie about whale riding. Whale Rider was a movie based in that tribe. And where was I? One of David Bear has Maori warriors come in and teach us how to do that, bleh thing with the tongue and the yelling, the screaming, owning your power. And so this was so gentle compared to everything that I know about that culture. How did you end up finding it?
Well, I took a coaching through story class, and the teacher suggested that we try this. And we talked about the symbols and how they related to one another, the placement of them. And I found it so fascinating for me personally. I said, this is my life. This is where I am right now. And I wanted to try it with other people. So you're my guinea pigs. I wanted to see if it worked for you and if you enjoyed it. So I'm thinking a twist on Twister. Yeah, that's right. It could be. It's a new game.
There we go. Our color forms, I think, is what was coming to mind as you were talking about those things that stick on. Anybody remember color forms, those static cling, clothes and stuff? Yeah. Now we do them for window art at holidays, right? It saves us all kinds of time.
So how do I get back to you now? Let's see. Oh, there we are. Okay.
You found us.
I found you. My
Funny thing, we're probably right where you left us. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. That was a very, very fun. Thank you, Deb, for reminding me where they were from. I'm like, I know they're from down under somewhere. Yeah. All right. So let's come into what you are celebrating. What is so good in your life? What is coming up for you? What are you announcing? We're going to give everybody like 1 minute, maybe 2. And then I will share my super secret stuff. Okay. So if you've got a class coming up, if you've got a program, if you've got a project, raise your digital hands. If you have something that we can support you in, let us know what it is. And Marilyn, go for it.
Okay. Well, as you know, I'm going on this journey of being a solopreneur. And I have this weight loss program that I'm working on, and gave actually presentation Saturday for an hour and a half. And I also was invited to participate in possibly designing a program for ADHD kids. And I came up with an 8-week program, and they like it. And I'm going to meet with some people, I think, this week, Wednesday, to, unravel things and see how we're going to move this forward. So I'm in the process of looking for clients, building my own little community of people that I can coach. And I'm very excited about it.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mona.
So I've had some success in moving into the world of dance, and I'm now affiliated with the Brandon Ballet. It's a ballet company in Brandon, and I am their Actionomics Wellness Movement Consultant. And I have been doing some presentations called Love Your Feet. I've done
Love your feet.
Love Your Feet. It's
Awesome.
a conversation teaching them how to have a conversation with their feet. And because dancers have more injuries with their feet and ankle. And I presented at the Diane Partington School Studio of
Woo.
Dance. They loved it at the Brandon Ballet. And I have one coming up on October 1st for the Florida Dance Education Organization, a state organization for dance educators. And so I'm all excited that. And this is just the beginning of setting off a whole tier of courses and certification programs that I have lined up, making my way, inching it into the world of dance. It's been a hard one to navigate and get through their wall of resistance. Don't want something new, but we have walked into it one foot at a time.
And pretty soon you won't be new anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations, Mona. I know the journey you have been on. That is just amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
And
All right,
you.
Chris,
you.
what is up? And just so you know, somebody's private chatting to me. They're trying to tell you that you're doing a great job. So I'll let them tell you themselves. In the meantime, Chris, what's up?
Okay, thank you. As I already shared, I have the brand new office in the Meadows, and they have a wellness center at the in the shopping village at the Meadows. And so my thing is relief without medication from anxiety, depression, fears, phobias, and it's mind, body, and life wellness. So looking forward, and I will be one of the many people that will be showing their stuff at the Meadows is having a health fair on Thursday, October the 6th from 10 to 1. And I don't know yet because they have a brand new wellness center there and they're having trouble getting their permits. They had planned that this wellness fair was going to be in the new building, but it may not be in the new building. They may be scrambling and putting up tents outside and having some inside. I don't know if I'm doing a presentation or not. I'll find out tomorrow. And if I am, it'll just be a 10-minute one.
So please make sure you let Deb Davis know so we can get it into the newsletter. If it's happening in October, then I'm saying a shaky of the head. Okay. So we'll just put it out this way.
Sorry, but Chris isn't a member, so she can't.
Oh, Chris, now would be a good time to join. Just saying, all right. I'm just saying now would be a great time to join so that you can get it out to all of the members of the GSCA through our newsletter. So something to consider. I mean, if you're going to do a launch, if you're going to have a new business, if you're going to, we might as well have a ribbon cutting and all of those things. So, yeah. I mean, we could do that. We could arrange this. Okay. We could make it better. Oh, sorry. That's Bionic Man. There we go. All right, Deb, what you got?
So, like I started to say at the beginning, I'm doing the positive intelligence coaching certification. And I started as a recommendation from other people in this organization who I respect. Of course, I respect everybody in this organization who'd been through the program and really enjoyed it. And I'm not much of a joiner, but I did the 6-week or 7 weeks actually coach grant that is offered, and I found it very useful and something that would help me pivot to younger coaching and consulting clients because it's all based in an app, and that's the kind of thing that the younger folks want, and they're much more involved in their mental wellness than baby boomers and older. So I put in the chat a link because I know that there's a new cohort starting shortly, and it's the link is an explanation of the free or the coaching grant. You have to fill out an application, but I haven't seen anybody turn down yet. So I highly recommend it. It's free for the first 6 or 7 weeks. And yeah.
And I'll chime in on that and say, for no other reason than to watch this man's marketing model. He has built out a marketing referral-based machine. And so just to look at how he's done it, is the education there is priceless. So yeah, use Deb's link and go for it. Thank you, Deb. Okay. Chris, anything else or?
No, I was just wondering if you could say the link, because I'm on my phone and I can't see the link.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't.
maybe we can get it emailed to you because it's not a simple one. So
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. All right, Leslie, 2-3 minutes, and then I get to share my secret surprise.
Yes, howdy. So I'm sorry I have not been able to be in the full meeting today. The little bits I heard, it was great, Marilyn. You did a really nice job.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to actually announce that I am finally launching the pilot of my online course. And it's going to be a 5-week course, including an hour's worth of video and then a live call for Q&A and some coaching. And it's on how to deal with difficult people. It's called Take Charge Now, how to successfully handle difficult attitudes, opinions, and people with dignity and personal power. And it's all the things I've been talking to you about, how to deal successfully and effectively with difficult people without getting into confrontations, why they behave that way, what their MO is, how to spot the strategies, and mostly my proven system for what strategies you use in response. So because this is such a powerful program and because it's my pilot, I'm going to be offering it at a very low fee. And if anybody is interested, I'm forming it now. I'm going to put my email in the, there it is. Please email me at leslieaustin@mindspring.com. And I'll give you all the details to see if you're interested or not. Okay, so I'm excited to launch and see if it goes well. So I invite you all.
Oh, I'm
And
super excited.
Leslie can put it in the newsletter.
There we go. And
yeah,
Leslie
I'm going
will
to
put it in the
yeah.
newsletter because we are going to hold her down and beat the crap out of her if she doesn't. So,
Well, yeah, it's going to launch on October 3rd, so we got to make sure the newsletter comes out first. It's in October.
you know, there's all kinds of ways to work with that.
Whatever, right. Thank you, Deb.
Great plug for membership, guys. Membership does have its privileges. All right, being on this call today has its privileges. I'm going to share with you a short story. Most of you know I'm the director of the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. Every year we publish a book. The book is Make It a Great Day. The choice is yours. We did one for teens. We did one for adults. Volume 2 is coming out on the 28th of this month. And if that was all the story, that would be a good enough story. But what happened a few weeks ago is I got introduced to a man who does social media. But I caught him right as he was starting a 2-week vacation in Costa Rica with a lot of his friends, and they get together and make music. And he said, hey, let's get you on a call with all of my lyricists and my artists, and maybe they'll want to do something for the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. I want to share this with you. So here it is. Share sound, Jackie. Share sound. Optimize. Here we go. So I don't know how to share. You can hear it.
Listen, I don't wanna wait. I don't want to find out that I asked too late. You don't have to change. There's no need to worry about what you say. We can stay till it's alright. I'll be here as many nights it takes to find your reason why. Before you decide to throw it away. Just know that the storm clouds won't always remain. Before you decide you can't find the way, just wait for the sun that comes after the rain. Before you decide, before you decide. Listen, I won't say I know, but I promise I'll go. Oh, the distance, I understand your position. You don't have to feel so distant. We can stay till it's alright. I'll be here as many nights it takes to find your reason why. Before you decide to throw it away, just know that the storm clouds won't always remain. Before you decide you can't find the way, just wait for the sun that comes after the rain. Before you decide, before you decide, before you decide. Listen, I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna find out that I asked too late.
It's wonderful. So moving.
So I swore you all to secrecy because I'm not allowed to release the title. I'm not allowed to release the song yet. That was a rough cut demo
Rough.
by this group. And when I got introduced to the lyricists and stuff, I'm like, you guys are younger than my grandkids. It was absolutely bizarre. These young people write the lyrics for the boy bands that are coming in from Korea that are apparently very popular that I know nothing about. And so this was really bizarre. But we are doing a launch for the book, and we expect to be able to announce about the song at the launch on September 28th. So you're all invited to be part of the pre-launch team. If you want to learn about how an international best-selling campaign gets done, my publisher has taken every single one of my books to an international #1 bestseller over the years. So I expect nothing less on this one. And tomorrow I'm teaching for this group, anybody who's part of the launch, I'm teaching how do you write a review for a book that you're an author in and still get it approved by Amazon to go up, because it's a little tricky. So it's a compilation book that we do every year. And the Sing Our Song link at the end is where you can nominate an artist to sing this song. Like Marilyn, you said you want this song. We are hoping everyone's going to want to see this song. And right now you can nominate your favorite artists, your favorite bands to sing this song. That's what that link is for. And what we will do is we will let them know they've been nominated by you, that you're their biggest fan and why you nominated them. And we have a badge that they will get where they've been nominated to sing our song. And the hashtag is Sing Our Song. And the initials, of course, are SOS.
Oh, really nice, Jackie.
Yeah, so this is what we're doing. This is what's happening behind the scenes. As Deb knows, I was like, yeah, maybe I can help out today. I'm in the middle of the book launch. The people who are doing the social media for the book launch, in addition to the publisher, they're like, here, Jackie, shoot 8 videos, take an hour, shoot 8 videos on these topics, change clothes and change locations in between each one and let us have it today. Now, if you want to know how to shoot 8 one-minute videos in a very short period of time, I suggest you explore TikTok. And if you don't think your clients are on TikTok, you're wrong. They might not have been there 5 years ago, but they are there now. And so I've got another group that are half my age, younger than my kids, who are helping me with my TikTok strategy. So if you decide to go TikTok, let me know and I will follow you, and you can follow me back, and you can take advantage of the tribe that I'm building, because I can't stop this wave, guys. You might as well ride it with me. Love to have the company. So that's why the links are in the chat. And I highly recommend that you just share the chat, save the chat. If you don't know how, you go to where you type, and there's 3 buttons at the top right, 3 little dots, and you click on that and you can save the chat to your computer. So you'll have Deb's link, you'll have the links for this. Nominate your favorite singers, join the book launch, come be part of my tribe. This group has supported me through all of my journey, and it has been a journey, because the last thing I wanted to do was talk about teen suicide. And what am I doing now? I am the face of the mission to end teen suicide.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm doing, and I'd love to have you guys with me.
Yeah.
So there we go. So you're not allowed to talk about the song, okay? No talky talk, no sharing what the title is or how it goes, but feel free to share that we are looking for who you think would be a good person to sing this song.
Yeah.
No. So
Your work is so important.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was my job. I honestly, God, I didn't think it was my job. If you want to talk about imposter syndrome, the who am I, Moses, hey, who am I to you got the wrong dude here. That's the way I've been feeling for the last 3 years, since my daughter broke the silence in 2019. And I looked around recently and there wasn't anybody else doing it. So pure prevention, which is why, Chris, we need to talk. I'm on a pure prevention kick. Oh my God. Those of you who've seen my TEDx talk, that talk that saves lives, for this book, we took it kind of radical, and it's the rules for emotional cage fighting. Because cage fighting is brutal, and so is suicide. And so that's where we're going with this. We are taking it right where the teens live. And so, it's a rough place right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're having a good time, because that's what pure prevention is like. It's fun. Yeah. I'm looking for my next radical thing. So if you've got something radical that I can add into this, next radical thing, the last real radical around this was when I put fun and suicide prevention in one sentence. And boy, let me tell you what, it kind of went kind of crazy there for a little while with the suicide prevention show, that summit I was doing a year ago. I'm not doing the summit, though I am on the Trauma Recovery Summit and the the Business Health and Wellness Summit that are coming up in October. So if you want to be on a summit and you want the link so that you can apply to be a speaker on one of those, just let me know. And I will send that information to you. In the meantime, thank you for being you. Thank you for what you do. Who you are is wonderful, and what you do is important. And I think, unless there's something else, we are out of here.